Yeah, because I learn things by the second. If I just stop, I won't learn. But I think I figured part of it out. Okay, here's how it goes. Because we need walls to know as far as we walk what we learn. How do we know to stop there? Because where I stop is my choice. But there were more choices. There were the choices that were put in there for you. So actually, in order to do this right, you see, there has to be 9 swings of the bat, or the 9 players that went to the plate in the 6th inning, until one of the players, the last player, okay, because we're looking at the maximums and the minimums. So the last player, who was the 9th player, had 2 strikes and 3 balls. Then he got a 4th ball and he walked. He got to first, and that's what we were waiting for. A total of 6 for man. Thus, he had the point. And the point was the ball. So God had to set the whole thing up. So he put a cross out. So he put the cross out. So when things are well balanced, like the cross is, you can put the ball on the tee and play T-ball. And T-ball is 7 innings. And God's number is 7. And Harry Carey sings the 7th inning stretch. And everybody sings for the 7th inning stretch. And nobody knows about baseball about the 7th inning, because that's God's number. And T-ball is God's game. It ends in the 7th inning. When all 9 men go to plate, it's over. Then on the 7th day, because all man counts for 6, so you have to count all the 6s. 9 times 6 is 54, all the people who went to the plate. 54 cards in a deck. 2 are jokers. 1 is truth, 1 is not. 1 is the I world, 1 is the E world. Whichever way you want to look at them, you'll have to understand that. But the game is T-ball. And the reason for the 7s is the strikes and the balls, because the maximum in the rules is 4 balls and 3 strikes make a result, but together they make 7. But the whole thing is, to make the result, you can only have 1 result at a time. That reverses to 3 strikes and 3 strikes and 3 balls is 6, which is man's number, or 4 balls and 2 strikes, which is also man's number. But when you get the 4 balls, you get to go to the base, but you don't take the 2 strikes with you. So therefore, man's perfect number, because everything is cleaned up off the slate once he gets the first base and the 4 balls, his 2 strikes go away. So man is 4, and we know he's 4, because in order to start everything, we need a plug. And if man is 4, he's got 4 spots to plug into. Thus, God needed something to plug to. So he made direction, east, west, north, and south, and that's the plug to connect the man to his brain, because thus he'll know all the difference. No matter where he goes, he already has direction. Because that's why he is who he is, and that's what he got, and God made it so perfect that you would learn everything here, so that when you bring it back, you learn a lot more. And the more you know and the more you learn, the happier you are. Because I'm always happy to tell a story, especially when it's a good story, and it's a story of the truth that I believe. And eventually I want all man to believe the truth of life, because whoever thought after hearing this transmission that anybody would ever know there was a man on earth, that anything really existed in the universe? Like, where is death? What is death? Cemetery is the dugout in baseball. They dug it out and they buried you there because they put 9 men to the plate and 8 men couldn't make it until the last man. But the last man, it was perfect for him. Once he got up there, everything worked out. And he walked. And he walked home to his angel. Everybody else was dead and the game was over. And who cares who was the winner as long as I made it home safe. And that's what it's all about when you're stealing a base. Because the best place to steal is home, and return to the dugout. Thus, for the man who does steal home, the dugout is heaven, with his angel back at home, where he can talk to somebody who'll listen to his story as a friend with compassion of heart. And I have the heart for all of you, and I'm pumping with joy. And now it's time for another shower and a bath. Got to keep the weight up. Don't want to lose any weight here. They'll think I'm crazy. But I'm only here with the truth, and you know what? The truth is always crazy.